Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Dr. P. Welcome back today for another video. Now, in today's video, I want to go over some massive leaks that we just got today that are huge and basically confirms how the plot of the storyline is going to go to a certain extent. We'll get into it all right after this. Make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate those two things. We're getting a little close to 400,000 subscribers and the final push is here. So every single one of you guys that chooses to subscribe, I really appreciate it. Just to remind you, I'm uploading daily Fortnite content covering what's new, storyline updates, tips, and a whole lot more. So definitely, it's worth your while to sub. So today it came out that it actually looks like there are going to be multiple different stages to the iceberg as it continues to melt throughout the course of the season. So right there, you can see on screen by popular Fortnite leaker FBR_news. He announces it right there. There are actually images associated with this tweet that I cannot show you due to Epic Games policy, but essentially the pictures show three very different versions of the iceberg as it gets further melted, and Polar Peak's castle becomes further exposed. I can tell you with a 99.9% confidence level that this leak is probably going to become true, based on the pure fact of his credibility, and just generally speaking, most things leakers post nowadays, they just end up becoming true. There's a lot of people that leak, and it's hard to get away with the fake stuff. It just doesn't happen. So, like I said, I'm 99.9% sure this is going to happen, and if it does, which it looks like it probably is, that is amazing. Like, it literally looks like the big theory everyone had, which was, this iceberg is hiding something, definitely looks like that is true. And if you look at what we can see from the outside, which is clearly just the bits and pieces of the castle that we can currently access, I think we're going to end up seeing a massive castle inside of this iceberg that probably, most likely, the Ice King, who is the max level 100 skin, who you're seeing the gameplay for right now, lived there in the past. I feel like for the first time in Season 7, for the first time in at least a few seasons, the level 100 skin, the tier 100 skin in the Battle Pass, is actually going to be a significant part of the storyline. I feel like he is going to be heavily featured in the loading screens as we get further along. It just makes a whole ton of sense. I mean, there's a castle in the iceberg. His name is the Ice King. It's a frozen castle. What else do I need? So the question now is, what is the Ice King doing? He appears to be, so far, just through the first 2 days of Season 7, one of the main characters, just because of, like I said, this iceberg, and now the whole Iceberg Event that looks like it's going to be happening over the next couple weeks where it continues to melt down. What do you think is going to happen? Just let me know in the comments, because, I mean, literally, we're at the start of a new season. That's where literally every single theory is fair game. So go ahead and fire away. Let me know what you think is going to happen, because at this point there are no wrong answers. We're all starting out. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. So I would love to hear what you think. A lot of the times when I do these videos, you guys enlighten me a lot more than you might think in the comments section, and it helps me with a new video, and I always love to give credit where I can. So let me inside that mind of yours. Let me know what you think. I want to point out something else I noticed about the trailer that we got for Season 7 the other day when it was released. The Ice King was actually never featured, although he is the tier 100 skin, although he does appear to have his castle inside that iceberg. There was no mention of him whatsoever, no reference at all to the Ice King. You simply saw this guy, the guy that looks a little bit like Santa Claus, on the iceberg when it was first revealed. He is immediately hostile to the rest of the island and summons a bunch of snowmen army guys to fight, and then of course he sends in the planes. They start firing their weapons and they start charging the island. So in some way, this Santa Claus looking guy must be very important. So important enough to have been featured inside of the trailer and not the Ice King himself. There must be some build up. I bet maybe he's going to come out of hiding or out of something in the coming weeks. We'll probably see him in the loading screen. And I'm really curious to see what his castle was like before all of this happened, what his reign might have been like. And I'm curious as to how his castle ended up on an iceberg. So far, in fact, that it actually got covered up by snow. That's an interesting predicament he's gotten himself into. Possibly he's from an area that's very icy and they just build their castles on snows, and a big chunk of that ice just kind of fell off. That's probably a good possibility for what happened. Definitely let me know what you guys think. The more I sit here and think to myself, it is quite wild how he ended up with that castle on an iceberg, and then it stayed on an iceberg and was floating out so long that it got covered up by snow. Like, that is so wild. Another really interesting point is how long has this castle been on the iceberg, and how long has the iceberg been wandering around in the sea until it randomly just came into contact with our island? My bet is probably a pretty long time. I mean, if you look at some tweets Epic Games employees were putting out teasing Season 7, they were all saying, quote-unquote, he's waking up and he's coming. The very fact that they would say he's waking up, to me implies like he was in a state kind of like hibernation where he basically has just been idle for a really long time, but now he has to wake up, he's being disturbed. So I definitely do feel like he's kind of been, sleeping, quote-unquote sleeping. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but, I feel like that island has been, moving around for a while. That castle is probably really old, hence why all the snow is built up. That's kind of what I think. That seems what's most logical, because, I mean, it would take a really long time for snow to accumulate so much that it's covering up 90% of an entire castle. Especially if it's not melting and it's just staying there for days upon weeks possibly. Yeah, I envision it's been a while. Also in the game's coding today, courtesy of FBR News, the gingerbread, crackshot, and other Christmas skins have a backpack for pets in the files. This confirms that Christmas skins are returning and that they are having exclusive backpacks for the pets that owners that had them the first time did not receive. That's a lot like what they did with the Skull Trooper. I mean, they put out the Skull Ranger and the different customization modes for the Skull Trooper that weren't there when it came out the first time, but they were there when you bought them the second time and when they knew it was going to sell really well. I feel like that's kind of a similar situation here. It looks like we are for sure going to get Crackshot, Gingerbread. Those two are confirmed almost, but it says also other various Christmas skins. So it looks like all Christmas skins are set to possibly return. I don't know exactly to what extent and how many they're going to put out, but whatever your favorite Christmas skin is, it has a chance to return. And with that said, I'm curious, what is your favorite Fortnite Christmas skin? In my opinion, it's probably the Crackshot. It looks insanely cool. It's just a nutcracker. I think that's an awesome idea, concept for Soldier, because the nutcrackers themselves, nutcrackers IRL, are actually kind of like soldiers, and it's cool to see that kind of brought to life and animated. I don't know, that's personally why I really like the Crackshot, and I really hope it returns to the item shop very soon. And I'm really curious to see, what kind of pets are involved with the new and improved Christmas skins. I mean, literally, what could they put on the back of a gingerbread man or the Crackshot? I'm not too sure, but we'll definitely wait and find out. Guys, if you're ever wondering anything about Fortnite, if you're worried you're not going to be getting all the news, if you're worried you don't know what's going on, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I'm uploading every single day and letting you know what's going on in the game, keeping you up to date. So I definitely appreciate it if you could subscribe and even drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. I like that too. Make sure to use my Support a Creator code when buying V-Bucks in Fortnite to support the channel. It is PineapplesYT. Shoot me a screenshot of you supporting me in-game, and I'll try to hit you back with that like and retweet. I sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like I said before, drop a like. Leave your theories in the comment section below. That's the most important part. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.